Yeah, this is states for the grassard. I always have like a null state, like if I just needed to sit there and do absolutely nothing. So that's 0. This time around with the game, I've went from just having a state equal 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've actually putting them into like hundreds, and that will actually try to keep that universal amongst all interactive objects. So like I know anything in the 100 state has to deal with just standing around or sitting around, non-movement type stuff. So you have your little state for it standing, and it just stands there, and after a certain amount of time, it'll decide what to do next, whether it will move into an idle state or if it'll walk around, that kind of stuff. Here's the what I was telling you about earlier, the array for the sprite that it uses for direction. You put the dir or dir or whatever in there, and that's the one based on your direction up here. Let's see, idle. That's same thing. You got your walk and your attack start. That's where the little graphic like to points at you, and then it goes into a run. And it runs at you, and if it happens to hit you, it'll be knocked into its stun state, which is down the tree further. Here's pre-dive, dive. But it's very simple. I just lay out very simply. It's gotten more simpler the more I've worked, like with the shark. Some of this stuff was a little messier than what's in here. Stun, bounce, stun, die. Down here is player awareness, which they should have like a ribbon for that all the politicians can wear. It functions. The player awareness ribbon. But yeah, anyways, this is based on the states. This is where it actually will look for the player and decide to attack them, that kind of thing. It's all a bunch of directional based hibbity jibbity. Like I set up to where the grassard actually has to be facing you to see you. So 90 degrees off on either in the plus and a minus direction from the direction it's actually facing is the field of its vision. See, land effects, that was from the snowball. I'm not sure how many effects exactly I'm going to be putting in for the grassard because it's primarily in the first set of stages. There's a couple of, like, there'll be mud and stuff like that, so I guess I could slow it down if it was in mud. So that's just reserved for extra physics gained from certain tile types. Let's see. In the physics, this is where all the movement stuff really takes place. It gets like speeds get set and things in other places, but down here the speed is enacted and stuff. Friction takes place, gravity takes place, and it makes sure they're all within certain boundaries. Yeah. Okay. Enders. This is just where at the end, like, speed land gets set to 0. This is always changed by coming in contact with certain land types, which all this collision stuff takes place after all this stuff, and then that becomes whatever, and it stays that through all this stuff, and then back down here it's reset again, because if you're off this piece of land, then you don't want that number to be there anymore. Same thing with friction mod and bump mod, all that stuff. Okay, let's see. If the video abruptly cuts because I ran out of time there on that earlier portion. So this is the collision chunket for just a standard square block. First I'll explain how it's set up. This first section here, this is for checking for the horizontal. Like I check on all four sides, like a line collision on all four sides of the object. This right here will check the horizontal sides first, because the horizontal speed is greater than the vertical speed. So you want to make sure that it checks the left and right before it checks the top and the bottom, or else it'll it would shift it down or up when it shouldn't be shifting it down or up. Anyways, within that, here's another one to make sure that it checks the left side first, which would be, if you're going right, you want to check the left side of the box first. That way, if you were like in a small corridor or whatever, it wouldn't check on the wrong side first and do something stupid or weird with your position. Anyways, within there it does the two checks, and then after that it does the opposite. If the opposite is true, it does it that way, and then it gets to the verticals. And I have another version of this where it does the verticals first, and it just mirrors this right here, with the different situations. Let's see. WMod is it actually shrinks the sides. The collision lines on the sides that aren't the dominant, direction that you're going in. So if you're moving upwards, the collision lines on the left and right side are shrunken down, while the top and bottom remain the same. So if you do overlap into the object where the collision line is, it doesn't hit the sides and cause you to jut to left or right. This is mostly important for going around corners. Otherwise, you get the object gets jerked around pretty bad, and it's ugly as hell. And it's a problem I had to deal with when I was working on Shark, and that was a solution I came up with, and it worked. So, or was it Shark? Yeah, I think it was some part in Shark, or maybe not. Maybe it was one of the other damn game tests I did. Hell, I don't remember, but it was around that time somewhere. I don't know. But it stuck with me. That's the important thing. This ST200 and ST301, these are related to the states of the grasstard, which I showed you earlier. And these are just to shut it out of that state, or to cause a certain trigger. Like if it's walking and it hits the wall, that just tells it to kill the walk state and send it back into a standing state. And these two right here are for the attacks. Like if he's running and he hits a wall, it kicks him out of the run and turns it into his bouncing stun. And the same with the diving. That's all those are for. Now this point 1 here is just to differentiate between moving horizontally primarily and moving vertically primarily. So when it goes to check the status of this variable, it'll because it's a square object, so you only really need to reverse the horizontal speed or the vertical speed depending on which direction you're going in. So you don't need any complicated calculations or nothing. It's very simple. I see. And that's the last of what I was going to show you. So I imagine this is a 2-part video. I don't know, but yeah. Thanks for watching. If this kind of thing interested any viewers, let me know. I'm kind of scared to go over Cody type stuff because I'm not a Cody type person. I mean, I'm using GameMaker and I'm using scripts. I mean, I used to know some QBasic from back in the day, and I screwed around with C++ a little bit, so but by no means am I some kind of magic coder man. Hell no. But let me know, whatever. But thanks for watching, and have another one next week, hopefully, with much more progress. So take care and have a good weekend.